Good morning. Welcome to Wake Up Real Estate on a Monday morning. We're going to talk some motivation, some mortgage, and marketing. Ryan was having some technical difficulties with his audio, so he's going to reboot and hopefully try and come on back here in a minute. But I've got some good stuff to share, just general mortgage related. I want to talk about marketing and share an example of framework of the real estate niche operating system, Ryan's Renos, around fixer-upper properties and how you could use that to build a pipeline or database of real estate investors and some other good stuff here to start the week off on a positive note and hopefully help you all get some opportunities coming into your pipeline. Please do us a huge favor. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. I emailed over the weekend, and many of you acknowledged and helped us. I asked for some help in leaving a rating and review if you listen to this instead of watch us live or watch us after the fact. So if you listen to the podcast on Apple or on Spotify, do me a huge favor and please rate and review on those sessions. Ryan, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, I just needed a reboot.
Yeah.
So this is completely unrelated to anything, but my son late last week was, I don't know, he was having some technical difficulty with his phone or something. And both Pam and I were like, what's the last time you rebooted your phone? And he's like, why is that? Gugga, that's what he calls his grandfather on my wife's side. That's his solution for everything. If anything doesn't work, his solution is have you rebooted it? Have you restarted it?
Sometimes that's the answer.
Yeah, I mean that many times that works. So
you learn that from the cable companies, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the first thing. Yeah, anytime you call, have you reset your modem? Speaking of reset, I'm really reaching here. Let's reset your motivation as far as opportunities in business this year. I was listening to a podcast this morning, Loan Officer Freedom podcast with Carl White and I forget who his normal co-host is, Steve something or other. But he had one of his other coaches on this morning, and they were talking about the rule of fives for this year. The rule of fives for this year. And here were the 3 5s and how that relates to motivation and you doing more deals this year. Number 1, interest rates coming down into the 5s. We're projected to see 6 interest rate reductions this year. Ryan thinks no, but let's say, regardless, it seems
3.
Universally 3. Okay, so 3, whatever. Anyway, we're already close. We've actually this calendar year, January, there have been several times where we have been quoting FHA in the 5s, and we should see it come down to and stabilize in that range. Is it the 2s and 3s that we saw 24 months ago? No, but it's a lot less than the 8s we were in for a period of time as well. And that's going to do two things. Number 1, it's going to increase demand from purchasers, buyers, borrowers. Okay, it's going to increase demand there. And it's also going to create refinance opportunities for those that did purchase in the 7s or 8s. And we've talked about FHA and VA IRRRL streamline refis. We can do those right now in the mid to high 5s. So if you or a client purchased a home with an FHA loan or a VA mortgage in the 7 or 8% range, and it's been at least 210 days, we could do a streamline refi and help them save hundreds of dollars per month potentially on their payment. Okay, that's the first 5. The first 5 interest rates in the 5. The second 5 is it is projected that we will have 5 million homes sold in 2024.
What was it last year?
In the last 2 years.
Okay. Yeah. What was it last year?
It was in the low 4 million. It was like 4.1 million, and it was about 25%. The same, I think. Yeah. So a big increase. Now it's still lower than 2021, I believe we were at like 6 or 6.2 million homes sold. So still lower than that, but a lot more opportunity than the last 2 years as far as just transaction volume. Combine that with the fact that a bunch of realtors and loan officers have left the business because, X or Y or Z reasons, right? So that's more for all of us who stayed. Okay. So that's the second 5. The third 5 is I'm forgetting right now. The third 5. So we got 5 interest rates. This is it. Projected home appreciation for 2024 around 5%. Why is that relevant? Well, if people wait, okay, if they could purchase now, okay, but they wait a year, that means they're theoretically losing out or potentially losing out on 5% equity gain by waiting to buy. Or another way to look at it is they're likely going to have to pay 5% more if they wait a year. Okay. Now, those are all projections. Okay. We don't know what will actually happen in reality, but most people smarter than Ryan or I, especially me, are projecting that 2024 is going to be a good year for real estate.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's some encouragement and motivation for you on a Monday morning. Yeah, that's it.
So
that's exactly
the episode.
Mapping out. Yep, that's the episode.
So
19 minutes.
Yeah,
Yep.
Carl's got a lot of great stuff. Even if you're not a loan officer, he's just got lots of great stuff around marketing and mindset and everything. So.
Absolutely. Very good. Very good. And a quick, easy listen for those that are curious. Okay, Ryan, do you have? Yes, you do. And you perfectly.
I saw your email. So.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because, for just full transparency, Ryan and I often, the first time we talk in any given day is oftentimes right now. And so Ryan thankfully saw what I had promoted as the topic for today. And so our social post of the day, Ryan, is what?
Just to grab a current list of fixers in your area. I put a little URL to my landing page for fixers. And you always got to get roaches or Mr. T or pooping dogs or something in your social post videos. It's important.
There you go. Or images. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, yeah.
The media with your posts.
Yeah.
You gotta love that. Okay. So that is a perfect jumping off point for the topic for today. We talked a few times last week, or it just came up a few times last week. Ryan's real estate niche operating system or framework, right, of how to build a database around a specific niche in your market. It's scrolling across the bottom, wakeup.realestate /Renos, RENOS. RENOS, wakeup.realestate /RENOS. There's a video on that page with Ryan going through the different components, the different pieces of real estate niche operating systems. But I wanted to double down on the fixer-upper idea around this because it ties in to several topics from last week, and it's a follow-up to a conversation I've had with a couple of agents around their interest in building a client base of investors in their market. Okay, so a simple and yet incredibly effective way to get interest and attention and get investors to opt in is simply offering fixer-uppers in your market, which if you're using something like KV Core, you can go and select the properties. You can very easily curate a list of fixer-upper properties. Now, if you're not using that, we can find a way to do that. There are ways that you can do it right in your MLS, right?
Yeah. Certain
search terms, like you could add search terms like terms in the public agent remarks like handyman, investor, TLC, estate,
rehab,
probate, motivated, offers, right? Because some agents will put bring all offers, right? So just brainstorming a way of creating that, right? So there are simple, easy ways if you have KV Core or something like that, but it's okay if you don't. There are workarounds to that, Ryan?
I'm coming back or going, what's old is new again. When I first started in the early 2000s, I would give people lists straight from the MLS, but it wasn't web enabled. It was a PDF or something. And people would have to come to you. They'd see an address they might be interested in, and then they had to come to you once they get the list. I don't think, you might lean toward that approach. To give them a PDF straight from your MLS, and it feels more curated. We always say that than just giving them a link.
Okay. So one way or another, you put together this list of fixer-upper deals, fixer-upper listings, fixer-upper properties in your market area, and you offer that through paid ads. Now, you can also just do social posts like Ryan's. Like, one strategy, if you just want to do organic, is you could feature one of those every day as your social post of the day and say, if you want the full list, go here. And you could, you don't want to always be putting a hyperlinked URL, because Facebook will throttle your organic reach. But what you could do, and this ties back to something I mentioned last week, you could say, comment fixers, and I'll send you the list. Okay. So there are any number of ways that you can create that engagement around that offer. If you want to pour gasoline on the fire, we would recommend you setting up, and we can help you with this, lead ads, right? Facebook and Instagram lead ads. This would also make a great Google pay-per-click campaign. Okay. Regardless, your top of funnel offer that you are putting out there is around fixer uppers. And by the way, Chris says no FHA. I'm not sure if you mean for around these, but fixer. This is targeted towards investors. However, if you have somebody that wants to buy a primary residence, there are two different. There's FHA 203K and FHA 203B. 203B is the more streamlined. So if a fixer upper just means some minor cosmetic, but FHA 203K is for more major renovations. So this would still apply even if or when you have the traditional borrower opting in for this list, because that's going to happen no matter how much you say, attention Central PA real estate investors, get a free list of all the fixer upper homes for sale or fixer upper properties for sale. You're going to have some either first time buyers or folks looking to maybe trade up or trade down that are going to opt in for that. And there are solutions to that as well. Chris did allude to kind of the next step. So we've got the top of funnel or the beginning of the pipeline offer being fixer uppers. And then what we continue to see time and again and again and again is a great way to, whether you want to call it middle of funnel or incubation, or a way of sifting and sorting out those that are most ready, willing, and able, is financing offers. And this weekend, I posted a little short video about fix and flip funding that we have available right now, where an investor can get up to 100% of the purchase price and 100% of the rehab funds. Now, there are qualifiers to that. Okay. There are qualifiers to that, but we have loads of options where they can get 80% of the purchase and 100% of the rehab. We have, options where they can get 90 or 95%. And then, like I said, with some qualifiers, if they have experience in certain states, they can get to 100% purchase price and 100% of the rehab costs. Okay. Why is that important and relevant? When you're the one that's not only making them aware of the properties and the what's available from an inventory perspective, and then also solving the next problem that they have. Yes, I would love to do one of these deals, but how do I get the financing? When you're making them aware and making that connection together for them, you're removing objections, and you're creating an increased likelihood that they'll engage with you, that they'll have a conversation with you, that they'll proactively reply to your emails, reply to your automated text messages, comment on your post, send you a private message, et cetera, et cetera. And that's one of many examples of niches that you can build out if you follow the framework that Ryan has detailed in the video that you'll find at wakeup.realestate/Renos, RENOS.
One of the great things about this niche in particular, any like property based, but this one is the follow up content is so simple because it's dynamic. There's always another fixer upper, and fixer uppers are like interesting to look at. So if you're sending pictures of rough houses or video tours of rough houses, it's very engaging content, and you don't have to think too hard.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
and thank you for that point. So
Yeah.
you've got the top of funnel offer. It's just the updated weekly list. You could even offer it as a daily list, right?
Yeah.
You can send them an updated daily list.
Fixer upper of the day.
And that could just be it, right? Or you can offer a weekly list, and every week you send them an updated weekly list, and then once a week you send them the featured fixer-upper of the week. And whether that's you going out and getting video of it, or it's you on Loom, just in your MLS showing a property and scrolling through the pictures and pointing out what jumped out as you to what jumped out to you and why you're featuring it, and even potentially tying in, hey, if you're an investor, if you're an experienced investor, here's you could potentially purchase this property with no money down and only pay for closing costs and get 100% of the rehab funds, right? So like tying that in and removing as many of the potential objections that someone might have for either getting started or taking the next step in growing their portfolio, or and even making the connection, hey, this one in particular would make a great long-term rental, and here's why. Or this is one where it looks like the bigger opportunity would be to fix it up and then resell it on the open market, right?
I think the important thing is you almost take on the role of shopper as if you were going to do the rehab yourself, because you need to look at these properties with that critical eye so that you can report back to other buyers.
Exactly. Look at them as find deals that you would be interested in.
Right.
And here's why, right? And you can even use that as scarcity. Hey, if you'd like more information, you got to be careful with that, right? Because you don't want to create a situation where people feel like they're competing with you or bidding against you on properties, let's say. But I think there's something to that as well. This is a great question, Charlotte.
We'll get to the question. When I was doing REOs in Philly, I used to say I'm going to have an open house so that all my everybody on this investor email list can come tomorrow morning at 10, and it created this like, oh, I better get there because I know there's other people getting these emails.
It's a private open house. That's one of the best. That's one of the best strategies to employ when you build a database around an offer like this, or even new construction, or whatever your offer is. If you host private open houses only for your database, it's a wonderful way to leverage your time. Worst case scenario, you can get in-person content, pictures, and video of the property. Best case scenario, you meet with multiple potential clients in person at the property. It's a fantastic strategy. And maybe that's your follow-up. Instead of a featured property of the week, it's a featured private open house of the week or something like that, where you every week and they have to be on your VIP list to get the invite and the information on that.
Yeah. Nice thing is you can change it anytime. Charlotte, I mean, the name of the game here is building an opt-in list. So
absolutely,
this is my 727realestatedeals.com on the screen. If you have KV Core or any of the platforms, it's pretty easy to build a very simple page like this. This one goes in a lot of directions, but you could just buy something like whatever your zip code is, 727 fixers area code, 727fixers.com, and forward it over to a KV Core page like this.
Yeah, and Charlotte's question for those listening on audio only, do you ask for their email to send them the list? Well, number one, if we're using lead ads, that is automatically collecting their email. If we're using Google pay-per-click, we're going to collect their email. But you can also use simple landing pages like what Ryan has up on the screen here from KV Core, or if you're using Lofty or whatever. There's any number of simple ways you can build this out. Or if you're going to get started by trying to do this, or not trying to do this, by implementing this idea through organic, when they message you or they comment, you simply ask, hey, what's the best email for me to send you the list? And if they've already engaged with you, what I find anyway is that almost all of them will then give you not just an email, but the email that they actually open and read, right? Because there are any number of we all have those like junk emails, right, that we use to opt in for stuff that we don't actually want those or that we've forgotten about, right? Even on social media platforms, you may have been on a platform for long enough where the email you originally opted in with is no longer active, right? Or you pivoted, but you never updated that, right? So when you have that, you make sure that you're getting, when you have that interaction that way, you're making sure that you're getting their active and best email. And it's why you should also, if you're doing both text, so let's say you're using lead ads and you're using text and email to follow up, make sure you ask in the text, did you get the email with the list? Whether you ask them like a few minutes after they opt in or like the next day. And then you many times, if they didn't, number one, you can recommend that they check their spam or junk folder, or number two, you can put in, hey, this is the email we sent it to. Is this the best email for us to send you the updated list as more homes come available, or whatever, however you want to frame that. We mentioned Facebook and Instagram and Google pay-per-click. TikTok also has lead ads, lead forms, just almost identical to Facebook and Instagram. And so for those of you, if you want a different platform maybe to do that on, and it could be great. Like if you make a little short form video, a TikTok-y, short form video at one of these fixer uppers, that could be a great piece of content to then run those around. So let's see here. Ernest, once again, I've been getting some good results with KV Core XML feed for dynamic ads, lead forms, and Lofty AI. I know it's a hefty tech stack. So Ryan, can you unpack that for those of you that don't speak? That don't speak some of the words. Yeah, geek.
Well, Ernest actually helped me set up the dynamic ads here in St. Pete. So if I can bring it up, basically it runs all of your listings in a carousel ad on Facebook. I'm going to try to bring it up here. And then it does a lead form for each one individually. So let me show.
And what are the benefits of having something like that set up, Ryan?
Well, the main benefit is you don't have to manage it. This has been running for 6 months and I never touch it because it's just adding the new content to the ad as we get new listings.
It's dynamically refreshed as new listings come available. Now you have to have office listings or enough of your own listings theoretically to run that, or be at a brokerage or in a state where you can, where you can market those in this fashion. And it does require some techie setup, but as indicated, the nice thing is you can kind of set it and forget it, which isn't always the case with Facebook and Instagram ads. So take it back to the top of funnel idea, a free weekly list of fixer uppers available here in Central PA. If I don't have something dynamic set up for that, I will likely occasionally have to test different copy or test or try different images and so forth to refresh it. This is set up in a way that is dynamically refreshing with new listings as they are available. And what Ryan has circled here is how much ad spend?
So it's about $6,000, I guess, but it's 1,900 leads at $320 a piece. So call it $6,000 of people directly opting in for information about current listings. So we're servicing the listings anyway. So you can tell the seller, hey, we're getting activity around your listing and we're running an ad for your listing. But all we need, I haven't checked, but out of those 1,900 leads, if one of them did any kind of transaction or referred us any business at all, it's kind of break even at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
It just runs.
Exactly. All right. So as we come in for a landing here, for those of you that maybe are getting, your eyes glazing over, like how do I do this stuff? Can I get help with this stuff? Check out wakeup.realestate/RENOS. Check out the video there. And then if you'd like to chat, you can schedule a time with me and I'd be more than happy to chat, or you can just email, call, text me, whatever. I'd be more than happy to chat and explore. We can help you with this kind of stuff, but you do have to have a minimum budget of I would say at least $600 to $1,000 per month
to spend on the traffic.
To spend on the traffic.
On your leads. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But otherwise, we have just, you know, a whole boatload of content in the members area, the free members area at wakeup.realestate. So if you haven't created your free account there, go to wakeup.realestate. And here, I'll give you another example of how you might implement this idea. You get permission from the listing agent of Fixer Uppers in your market, and you run our Facebook Marketplace protocol. So you use Facebook Marketplace to build out a database. That's another free / organic way, and you just have to get permission from the listing agent to market those on Marketplace, and away you go. Mike, we talked about this at the beginning. The way, if you're trying to do it directly in your MLS, which is, I'm sorry, Mike's question is, for those of you listening only, what are you using for MLS search parameters for Fixer Upper? Ryan, I think you were gonna answer there too.
Yeah, just some MLSs directly have the field, but yeah, just keywords. Fixer Upper as a direct keyword, renovation, needs rehab, TLC. You can call those together, or you can kind of just manually put together a list of 5 that you know about. You know, it doesn't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of freedom here.
But there's anywhere from 10 to 15, 20 keywords that you could build a search around. It won't be flawless. In other words, it will catch some listings that probably aren't Fixer Uppers. It's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world, right? Because the magic, quote unquote, in this is the non-automated follow-up that you're going to do, right? Your weekly email newsletter and the featured property or the private open house that you're going to host around specific properties. That's where you're going to get more activity and more engagement and conversations. But, you know, TLC, Fixer, estate, probate, handyman, investor, special,
needs love,
motivated, or motivation, or offers, like bring offers. You can make an exhaustive list there. And I don't know, Mike, what you're using, if you're using an all-in-one solution like KB Core or similar, but I mean, that's just that's a button that you click on KB Core and it'll just build you a Fixer Upper list. But I want to reiterate, if you just do that part, you'll get some activity and interest. Yeah. It really comes down to the manual follow-up and the manual work that you do. That's where you're going to get way more engagement and conversations.
The first third or half of what's in the Renos video, building the system, that's easy. That's an hour, for us. Yeah. And anybody can do that. And you might convert 1% or 2% of the leads. That's what most people are doing. When you start sending a video of your Fixer Upper of the week, every week, you're talking another 5, 10, 20 deals a year. You're just, it really snowballs when you actually create the content.
100%, which is a perfect transition to tomorrow being Texting Tuesday. So we'll give an example of some of that manual work or activity that you can do to generate more conversations from your past existing database, but also strategies that you can use if you want to build a database moving forward. Ryan, go ahead.
I just wanted to plug and mention that JustListedJustSold.com is way faster now. It was a little slow as we launched, but it should be way faster. And Josh, really soon here, 2 cool things. You're going to be able to send farming postcards to an area. So not if you don't have any listings. And then we're going to have the affiliate program. I think it's going to be 5 cents. If you refer somebody else, you're going to get 5 cents a postcard for the life of that customer. So you'll like that.
Yeah. Beautiful. Absolutely. Yep. So check that out. JustListedJustSold.com. JustListedJustSold.com, powered by thanks.io.
Ernest, you remind me of this guy.
Oh boy. Ernest said, I need my Google reviews, Ryan. LOL.
He wants a feature in
we can't hear it, unfortunately.
Oh. $2.
Okay. Anyway,
sorry.
So tomorrow's Texting Tuesday. Hope you'll join us then. We're also going to have our weekly mortgage info session tomorrow afternoon. We're going to be talking about Fixer Upper financing. Okay, Fixer Upper, fix and flip type of financing. It will lean towards investors, but we'll also talk about programs for owner-occupant borrowers as well. We'll talk a little bit about both. We've got our regularly scheduled program all week, 10 a.m. Eastern. And go and check out the video Ryan put together. A lot of time and effort went into wakeup.realestate/RENOS. I know
it was one. It was one take, 10 minutes.
Yeah, but it's because that framework and the principles in there are what Ryan and I have been beating the drum on since like 2007.
Yeah,
so,
I can, and I can always count on Andre to get my
get the joke. Get the joke.
Yeah.
The
You
inside
don't know
joke.
I
All
want
right.
my $2?
Yeah.
You don't know?
I don't think I do.
Best 80s movie ever. Better Off Dead. All right.
Better Off Dead.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Best 80 movie there is Goonies to me, but I don't know. All right. Thanks everybody. Make it a great week. Have a wonderful Monday. Hopefully we'll see you back here tomorrow for Texting Tuesday.
See you guys.